All right, guys, this is Tara Devlin, and this is Devlin versus the News. Let's get into it. I just want to put this on your radar, on top of all the other abominations we're dealing with, because every day we learn of new ways that the Republican Party weaponizes the United States government, not just against democracy and the system that the founders fought a revolution to create and entrust to us, but against life on Earth itself. And I've said it for years that the Republican Party is the greatest threat to decency, dignity, democracy, and life on Earth that humanity has ever faced. I wish I was wrong. They're not just this small little cult of greed-centered ghosts of the Gilded Age. They are a domestic terrorist threat, but they're also an organized gang against life, sustaining an inhabitable planet. For example, before I go any further, where you think I'm slinging pejoratives, the White House just ordered NASA to destroy 2 satellites that are the scientific gold standard for monitoring carbon dioxide and, by extension, climate change. That's their mission. It's called the Orbiting Carbon Observatory 2, OCO2, and a companion instrument aboard the International Space Station. They're not just some expensive boondoggles where they could say, oh, they cost so much and there was no ROI, return on investment. Trump could make a better deal. Oh God, if I hear that word deal again. They cost $15 million a year to operate. This is a rounding error in NASA's $25 billion budget. The satellites feed essential data to scientists, farmers, oil and gas companies, giving the world a precise look of the state of Earth's carbon emissions and, crucially, how we should respond to climate breakdowns. But the Republican Party and their dear leader, the serial bankrupt, tax-cheating, draft-dodging, wannabe dictator con man with the fake university, they view facts and science as enemies to be hunted, to be captured, to be snuffed out, or at least erased with the swipe of a Sharpie. This isn't reform, this isn't fiscal prudence, it is sabotage straight out of an anti-science fever dream, and it puts every living being on this planet at greater risk. And isn't that the point for Republicans? I don't understand them, but I'm not a monster, so I guess that's a good thing. Globally, the world as a whole is taking baby steps towards a collective climate action. And we're in the dust now. You know, when Joe Biden said, when I think climate change, I think jobs, he was absolutely right. The whole world is moving on without us. You know, these are jobs that won't cause black lung, that can't be outsourced. I don't even know. I mean, it's hard to explain how much they hate this country and life on Earth. It's incredible. This is slow motion bureaucratic terrorism. Forget schemes and missions conjured up by the Taliban and the Islamic State. Which organization on Earth does more to destroy the future than the Republican Party, right? No one else commands the world's economy, the biggest military, and proceeds to kneecap efforts to track, mitigate, and even simply understand the threats that we are facing as a species. When Republicans tell NASA to destroy these satellites monitoring Earth's fever, it's like yanking a thermometer out of the patient's mouth and tossing it in the incinerator. If you don't like the diagnosis, obliterate the evidence. That's the Republican way. The world is burning, turn off the fire alarms. That's how they deal with it. NASA's own reviews concluded that as recently as 2023, these missions were providing data at an exceptionally high quality. They are instrumental, not just at tracking global warming, crop yield and drought. I mean, I thought they were all about the farmers and all that. But if not for hypocrisy, what would Republicans have? That's the wind beneath their wings. Knowledge is a threat to their agenda. That is clear, right? This is not even about money. Hundreds of millions have already been invested to build and launch and operate these satellites. This is just about making it harder for us to deal with the problems we face. Well, what else is new for the Republican Party? That's why I don't understand how anybody votes for them. They should be ashamed. Clearly, they are victims of Fox News and their Russian-funded influencers and the like. How much do you have to hate yourself to vote for this party that is literally out to kill you, to make the lives of you and your grandchildren measurably, demonstrably worse. So the Trump administration is also making federally mandated climate science reports difficult to access, removing websites and data that local governments and first responders and citizens rely on to prepare for the reality of climate change. These people are sick. When you look at them through the lens of they are the enemies of the people, it all makes sense. No foreign enemy could do this much damage. They are the domestic enemies that the founders warned us about. So when people ask, what's the greatest terrorist organization on earth, we have to have the courage to say, don't look at the Islamic State or ISIS or the Taliban or Hamas. They got nothing on the Republican Party. No movement, no cell, no cult, no non-state actor comes close to the destruction rained down systemically, deliberately, gleefully by the Republican Party. Prove me wrong. No other group works so methodically to deny reality, to destroy evidence, to sabotage basic survival on this planet, and all while wrapping themselves in the flag. Make no mistake, the greatest threat to civilization is the Republican Party. Prove me wrong. All right, guys, what do you think? Leave me comments. If I'm wrong, let's talk about it. Or if you think I'm wrong. My name is Tara Devlin. Thank you for hanging out. Check out The Tara Show every Tuesday and Thursday right here on the Political Voices Network with myself and Tara Dublin, and my show on Friday nights, Tara Buster, right here on the Political Voices Substack and the Tara Buster YouTube channel, youtube.com/C4channel/Tara Buster. We will win. We got a lot of work to do, and it starts here with getting the message out, because we're on the right side of history. We're on the right side of decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. My name is Tara Devlin. Thank you so much for hanging out, and I will see you soon.